25 seconds to go. Can Lange hold on? Mir for an inside trip, beat the back, and that's 4, and it could be a pin. Beautifully timed and executed inside trip from Bella Mir, and she's got the pin. That was impressive.
You have to wait around until then before you get in the UFC or Contender Series or something like that? Or what's the timeline in your mind in the perfect entrance to the top tier?
Well, that's a good question. Honestly, if it was up to me, I probably would be doing all of it at the same time, like what I am right now. But I also feel like I see what, honestly, like if I had to be like super realistic, I feel like I'll have like a couple prelim fights for the UFC.
Dana White just sent a strong message to Bellamir by posting her victory on his Instagram, and the MMA world is buzzing. The daughter of UFC legend Frank Mir is making headlines not only for her recent submission win but also for her bold challenge to Brock Lesnar's daughter. Additionally, some fans are already comparing her to rising star Dakota. Dana White's support is clear. He shared Bellamir's win on Instagram, writing, "Bellamir with this 4-point move advances to the 6 kilograms finals of the 2025 US Open."
28 comes around, then I'll be like, is okay if I don't fight just this year for 2028. I feel like I could see that happening, or I could see it happening just wrestling and doing jiu-jitsu and just fighting on UFC Fight Pass, and then signing with the UFC right after 2028. It's also Dana's call. I had meetings with him a lot, like what my future looks like and what he wants me to do. And he pushes college wrestling a lot, and he also pushes 2028. He wants me to go down that route too. So, it's just a lot of talking like with people close to me and what's best.
John, you might know this. You might be the first active UFC fighter to compete in the Olympics then, rather than the other way around.
Probably. Yeah, because Sarah McMahon waited till after. So did Henry, and so did Kayla.
That's why Dana's pushing it. He wants to know.
I mean, now that you say that, because I never thought about that, now I want to do that because I'm always trying to just push myself. So thank you for that. Now I'm going to actually do that.
But this isn't the first time Dana White has shown support for Frank Mir's daughter. Back in 2023, he called her a little badass after seeing her workout videos. He even made her the UFC's first NIL ambassador while she was still in college at Iowa, with Dana consistently posting her victories and praising her accomplishments. The signs are clear. Bella's UFC debut seems inevitable. She's already had multiple meetings with White about her future, and he's been actively supporting her college wrestling career while backing her ambitions for the 2020
talking to me like, hey, like, are you gonna go to college? Are you gonna go to college for wrestling? And I was like, I don't know.
Why didn't you know?
I was already fighting, and like I was already like getting going.
There was already a path to it.
Yeah, so I was already getting going in that career, like making money, and so it's just like, am I really gonna want to college to stop making money? So he's like, no, like you have to go to college. And I'm like, okay. So then he's like texting Daniel Cormier and like, Bellamir needs to go to college. Where should you go? So then he's like, Iowa, like Chun's out there, like you need to go. So then like Daniel's calling Chun, and he's like getting that connection. And then I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go.
Now things get even more interesting. Bella Mir recently issued a bold challenge that has the entire MMA community buzzing. She called out Maya Lesnar, Brock Lesnar's daughter, framing it as the Brock Lesnar-Frank Mir trilogy in daughter form. To understand the hype, let's rewind. Frank Mir and Brock Lesnar had a legendary rivalry, with Mir submitting Lesnar at UFC 81 in 2008, only for Lesnar to return with a knockout win at UFC 100 in 2009, a trilogy fight between them that never happened. And now Bella wants to finish what their father started. Here's what Bella said, asterisk, I know Dana would 100% approve of that if Maya were fighting. So, Maya Lesnar, if you're ever hearing this, you should train, and we could just have a little fight because that would be awesome. Who wouldn't want to see that?
It's funny you say that about Maya Lesnar. The amount of people that have asked me if I want to fight her and do the Brock Lesnar Frank Mir trilogy, but in daughter form. I'm like, man, if Dana ever, I know Dana would 100% promote that if Maya was fighting. So yeah, if Maya Lesnar, if you're ever hearing this, you should train, and we could just like have a little fight, because that would be awesome. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that?
It's funny you say it, because like that, my mind didn't go there only because I know she's like a track person, like she's done like shot put and discus, but I mean, come on now, like if you're just playing promoter for like 5 seconds, who wouldn't want to see that, right? Like, come on now.
Yeah, I'm like, Maya, just train for like a year. I mean, she's athletic, like she'll get it down. She just trains for a year. I mean, that would be insane, honestly.
That was the fight, like, one of the fights we always wanted to see was your dad and Brock again. Like, they never got to finish their trilogy, and it's like one of the great, like, missed opportunities in MMA history. We never got to see them finish their trilogy. So, imagine the insanity of you and Maya, like, finishing it, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. How crazy would that be?
That actually would be crazy. I mean, maybe the universe was kind of just, it knew that her and I were gonna finish that trilogy fight, so they didn't have our dads finishing it. That would be awesome. I mean, I generally, I think I would be more hyped for that than anyone watching.
Bellamir has stirred major buzz in the MMA world by challenging Maya Lesnar, Brock Lesnar's daughter, suggesting they complete the Brock Lesnar-Frank Mir trilogy in daughter form. She even hinted that Maya could train for just a year to be ready, saying, *, maybe the universe knew she and I were meant to finish that trilogy fight, so our dads never got to. While Maya is currently a standout track and field athlete at Colorado State, excelling in shot put, she's never competed in MMA yet. The potential fight could become one of the biggest draws in women's MMA history. Meanwhile, Bella has made a powerful return to the sport after a 3-year break to focus on college wrestling, coming back with a statement win at Fury Challenger Series 14.
Successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts. Integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life.
Bella absolutely dominated Stephanie Coldren, securing a first-round submission victory with what she described as a chicken wing hold, essentially a one. Kimura finishing the fight at 3:58 of round 1. What stood out most was Bella's complete control throughout the match. She displayed noticeably improved striking, landed clean punches, seamlessly transitioned to her elite wrestling, took Coldren down with ease, and locked in the submission. After the fight, Bella said, *, that's folk-style wrestling right there, that's a chicken wing. I'm just glad I got to showcase my striking this fight because I wanted to prove to people I could bang with really tough strikers like Stephanie.
Now it must be coming down. Oh, she's tackling. Oh, she got behind the back some more. Let's prove some more. Oh, is this going to be enough? Bella Mir making it very rough inside. Don't count on the left arm. It's just behind her back. Wrestlers are going to so they can get pinned. Man, she got almost tapped. She's about to tap again. Oh, there's a tap. Man, wow. If we get a different angle, you have to have a little eye for the game. See what happens. But
now for 2-0 in MMA with all 4 victories coming by submission. Bella has the kind of finishing ability that grabs Dana White's attention, and it's clearly working. Many fans have started comparing Bella Mir to Dakota, and it's easy to see why. Both are young, highly skilled fighters with famous fighting lineages, combining elite grappling with rapidly improving striking to deliver thrilling performances. However, Bella stands out for her unprecedented ambition. She wants to become the first active UFC fighter to also compete in the Olympics. She's targeting the 2028 Olympic Games for wrestling while simultaneously pursuing her UFC career, explaining, *, I could see myself wrestling, doing jiu-jitsu and fighting on UFC Fight Pass, then signing with the UFC right after 2028. But ultimately, it's
like for me, like when I see the bigger picture, I'm like, okay, I'm not just staying in college for 4 years and then going and having a normal job or just wrestling senior level tournaments internationally. Like I'm going and I'm still doing all 3 and as far as I can. And the main UFC is always like been my main goal. So
the fact that Bella is already the UFC's first NIL ambassador and has Dana White's direct backing puts her on a completely different trajectory from most prospects. Looking ahead, she plans to focus on wrestling for the 2028 Olympics, likely stepping away from MMA until 2026. However, with Dana consistently posting her victories and showing strong support, it wouldn't be surprising to see her in the UFC sooner than expected. Bella has everything it takes to be a superstar, an undefeated 4-0 record with all submission finishes, major name recognition, Dana's endorsement, and now the MMA world buzzing about potential super fights with other famous MMA daughters. Whether it's a high-profile showdown with Maya Lesnar, a UFC debut, or Olympic gold, Bella Mir is positioning herself to become one of the biggest names in combat sports. That wraps up today's Bella Mir breakdown. Dana White's Instagram post may seem small, but it's a clear signal that big things are on the horizon for Frank Mir's daughter. What do you think? Should Maya Lesnar accept the challenge? When will we see Bella inside the UFC octagon? Drop your predictions in the comments. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, and subscribe for more MMA news and analysis. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep training hard. We'll see you in the next one.
Place. and then everyone else lost. For me, that's my mindset. I want to finish 30 and 0, 60 and 0. It's been done. Like, you don't have to lose. I just take things one at a time. I've done that my whole career. I've never looked like too far ahead. Once I get in that cage, there's just a switch that happens. Every opponent I fight will try to strike and then try and take me down.
We got the damage so far in this fight. It's been one-way traffic. Oh, man. Steven left the middle from Dakota. And a flurry. Under the body. Here's the elbow.
Dakota Diva, the 26-year-old English phenom, has extended her flawless professional record to 15-0 with a dominant unanimous decision win over Sumiko Inaba at PFL Africa in Cape Town, South Africa. However, that's not the headline grabbing everyone's attention.
Do you see me as the top girl in PFL, especially now I've beat Santos. Everyone thought she beat UFC world champion Valentina, so everyone's kind of a little bit like, before that fight, it was like, how good is really Dakota, like, she's not fought anyone type thing. And then when I beat her, now it's like, oh who are you going to give it now?
What went down inside the cage at PFL Africa. Dakota Diva stepped in after an 8-month layoff, the longest break of her PFL career, facing Bellator veteran Sumiko Inaba, who entered with an 8-1 record. Diva aimed to keep her perfect finishing streak alive and prove she's still the face of PFL, famously saying, *, if I take out the face of PFL, am I the face of PFL? What followed was nothing short of a Muay Thai masterclass. Diva dominated all 3 rounds, with her signature 8-limbed attack, delivering punishing knees, sharp elbows, and precise striking combinations. The judges scored it 32-27 across the board, with one judge even awarding a 32-24. However, the victory came with mixed emotions. For the first time since March 2022, Diva was forced to go the distance, ending her 9-fight finishing streak. More concerning was the post-fight revelation during an emotional interview. Diva broke down in tears, admitting she injured her left hand during the fight, saying, *, I think I've injured my left hand. I'm more gutted because I've been out for so long, and I've come back only to get injured again.
We needed that. We needed that one, by the way. I was rooting for Man City because if you guys would have won, that meant Forest gets Europa League, and now Crystal Palace wins somehow. I have no idea, shockingly. So then Palace got Europa League, and then we get Conference League, which is the shite one. But now something happened with some emails with Crystal Palace.
Injury concern, Ditch's performance was dominant from start to finish, solidifying her reputation as one of the most technically skilled strikers in women's MMA. But what truly shocked fans came after the fight. Standing in the cage, hand potentially injured and emotions running high, Dakota Diva dropped a bombshell that sent the MMA world into a frenzy. *, I have just resigned with PFL, she announced to a stunned crowd. *, we've come to a great agreement, and I'm looking forward to the next few years together.
Like you just said, I know what I've brought to the table for the last 2 years. I stuck to everything that I said I was going to do. I won everything.
To understand why this announcement is so shocking, you need the context. After Ditch's dominant 2024 campaign, where she went for 2-0 with 4 knockouts and claimed the PFL flyweight championship, she became widely recognized as the best female fighter not signed to the UFC for months. Fans had been dreaming of super fights between her and UFC stars like Valentina Shevchenko, Alexa Grasso, and Natalia Silva, making her re-signing with PFL an unexpected twist in her career trajectory.
Like, they haven't really seen where the division's going. I want to be somewhere that's active, and when you keep me out for 8 months, you're not giving me any confidence for me to be active. I'm not okay with sitting out for 8 months, and I'm not okay for sitting out for longer. So I had to kind of sit down and get a plan with them and know that I'm going to be fighting and I'm not going to be out for another 8 months, which is now part of my contract. I have dates in there now. I've got time limits where they need to keep me active.
Taken notice as well. In a recent interview, Diva revealed a shocking detail. *, I heard a rumor that it was already asked for and it was declined. *, she said, referring to a trade offer. The UFC had reportedly attempted to negotiate a deal to acquire her, but the PFL flat out rejected it. When asked why the trade fell through, Diva's response spoke volumes. *, would PFL want to let me go?
I have an agreement in there where they have to give me a certain amount of fights and a certain amount of time.
This puts everything into perspective. The UFC, the biggest MMA promotion in the world, wanted Dakota Diva so badly that they were willing to trade for her, similar to when they sent Demetrius Johnson to one championship in exchange for Ben Askren back in 2018. But here's where it gets even more interesting and why. Diva's decision to resign with PFL might be more brilliant than anyone first realized. In a detailed interview about her contract negotiations, Diva revealed that the delay had nothing to do with money. *, I know what I brought to the table for the last 2 years. I stuck to everything I said I was going to do. I won everything. Asterisk, she explained.
I feel like my time's done with PFL. Yet, I really enjoyed the last 2 years, and I was happy to be able to come to the a good agreement with them, and I feel like they bring a lot of different opportunities. There's different avenues that I could go down still with I mean, I'm not going to say too much, but they're not super strict on where I fight and what I do type thing. So I feel like there's a lot of opportunities that come.
But here's the kicker: Diva wasn't just negotiating for a bigger paycheck. She was fighting for something far more valuable: guaranteed activity. I wasn't going to settle, she said. Asterisk, I'm not okay with sitting out for 8 months, and I'm not okay with sitting out for longer. The contract she ultimately signed includes rare activity clauses in MMA, ensuring she stays active. Asterisk, I have dates in there now. I've got time limits where they need to keep me active. Asterisk, Diva revealed. This means the PFL is now contractually obligated to book her fights within specific timeframes. Keeping one of the sport's top talents consistently competing. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more MMA updates and news. Thank you.